Hello everyone, it's Gigo here and welcome back to the Hill Project. In today's episode, we begin with the steelworks, which is for the decking. So as you can see, the guys are already preparing, straightening up the iron rods. It always comes bent like this in the U shape because of transportation, and then we have to straighten it again, which is another cost because like normally if you get it straight already, but then we don't have tracks that can contain the length, so we always have to burn it like this, which most of the retailers do, but then when we bring it on site we have to straighten it. And as I said in my previous episode, we ordered for 7 tons of iron rods, which in later in today's video I will give you the details of the estimate of how many 16 mm, 12 mm, and 8 mm that we bought. So as you can see, the guys have already started, and this is how far they've come. I didn't show the beginning where they were laying the beams and stuff because, like I always say, we've shown this on the channel so many times and it's getting boring now showing all of this. So we'll just go into details of more about the estimate, the quantification, I mean. So if you are ready, then let's get into today's episode. So we first begin with the wood that we use for the decking. So we bought 2x4, which is 42 pieces, which is the soft wood. And then we also bought the wire board, which is 33 pieces. And then the plywood 3x4, which was 26 pieces. The price all depends on when you are buying it, so I wouldn't like to put a price there, but this is what we spent so far. This is the materials that we use when it comes to wood. So we go to the iron rods, which is currently what they are doing now. There's the 16 mm. We use high tensile, and it was 85 pieces. We use 20 mm high tensile, 25 pieces, and then we use 12 mm mild tensile, which is 420 pieces, and then 10 mm 120 pieces, also mild steel, and then the binding wire, which was 10 coils. So that's what you see on your screen now. That's the iron rod that we use. We have a lot of hidden beams in here, and that's what the 20 mm and the 16 mm are for. And what are hidden beams? Hidden beams is like you apply this application when you don't want pillars underneath, or you don't want pillars in your living room. So the joints you see where they meet are supposed to be pillars, but because the owner don't want pillars in his living room, so then you will apply this technique, which is the hidden beams. So it holds the whole floor so that you don't have to put pillars in front. So that's what the hidden beams are. It's a little bit costly, but it also prevents you from having pillars in your living room and that kind of stuff. So that's what you see right there. So if you look at the other places, the other side, you don't see this beams right there. And also, if you're watching my previous episode, when I showed the carpentry work, at this point we didn't have the holes to put the beam. So normally, even if you should, even if you accept to put pillars in your living room, you still have to put beams at that place, but you just have to reduce the size. So if you watch carefully, you'll see the beams which are more, I think, brownish. Yeah, so that's the normal beams which we're supposed to put. So if you put that kind of beams, then you have to put pillar underneath, but the owner don't want to do that. So that is it. So if you are building your house and the architecture or the contractor is telling you he's going to put pillar, you can ask him about hidden beams, and then maybe if he knows about it, then he's going to do that for you so that you don't put pillars in your living room and your bedroom and that kind of stuff, because then it creates a huge space for you. So we go to the cement. So casting, for this casting we are using 41 mm, which is 246 bags of cement. So we're going to be using 246 bags of cement for this whole casting that you see. The estimate for the sand is 1 trip, and then we're going to use two trips of stone. So that's the estimate for this, and that's what you see, 7 tons in total, and this is just for the one side. So when this is done, after concrete casting, whilst the guys are busy with the block work, then we continue at the other side, use the same wood, just have to buy new iron rods, and then we go with it. So this is it. That's it so far. So you see the very neat job done by the guys. I really do appreciate their effort, and their honesty when it comes to work. They're all young guys trying to make a living and trying to create a team. And I'm glad that they do support the movement. And so if you have your project and you want, strong guys to come in, as you see, if you watch my videos, you see we always work in teams. So we double check and control each other. We're not going to leave your project behind because the next person is waiting for his turn to come. So, okay, so if you look at the edges at the front, that is a double mat. So that is a double mat at the front because that's going to be like a balcony. So, and it is at the edge because I think it is an extension. So that's why we do the double mat right there. So that's the work for you. Like as I was saying before, we always check each other. If you give the work to the mason, the steel bender is going to put pressure on the mason so that he goes faster, so he comes to do his work. Then the guys who will be doing the casting will also be there waiting. So that's how the train goes. We check control. So that's the whole project. As you see, we began with this project I think February of this year. It is my playlist called the Hill Project. You can watch the first video and then you just have to watch this one, then you understand how far we've come. It's not been easy. We face our challenges during the beginning of the project, but we are used to those things now. And so far so good. And actually this is the second level. We already have a basement downstairs. So this is not the first decking that we are doing. This is actually the second decking. It's on a hill, as it says, the Hill Project. So we already have the carport and all of those things underneath the basement. So that's a very neat job done. You can see for yourself. Everything is on point. So in my previous episode, I did show a concrete mixture that people do, and the result at the end. Most people prevent using cement in their works, to cut down cost. So when it comes with a block also, manufacturing your own blocks, people intend using 1 bag of cement to get 20, blocks, which is wrong. Actually, the normal ratio, the standard ratio, if you want your blocks to be strong, when it comes to the 6 inches, with one bag of cement, you have to produce 12 blocks. And then if you are manufacturing for the 5 inches, with 1 bag of cement, you have to come up with 18 blocks. So that is the ratio when it comes to the block, because if you use 1 bag of cement to produce 20 blocks, and you use that for your foundation especially, this might increase, the dampness, when it comes to your foundation. So you might like to, cut down cost, but then when it comes to the foundation, please make sure you put a lot of cement in your blocks, so that you prevent this dampness, So this is just by the way. So let's get back to today's episode. So if you pay attention, you see how high the standing pillars, which is the iron rods from the ground floors, are. This is significant when it comes to construction. So most of the videos I see, or when I walk in town and they are doing the decking, you don't see the iron rod shooting this high from the ground floor. When you talk about stability, when it comes to earthquake and those kind of stuff, you need your iron rods to come up this tall, so that you just imagine like you connect another iron rod way down to the next level, and there's an earthquake or there's a shake in the earth, you still have that support, you still have that stability holding it. Because most people do is that they make the iron rod short, once again in the name of cutting cost, so they don't want to bring more iron rods upward. So let's say you get it halfway, and you join it with the next one, and there's a shake or earthquake, it's easy for it to separate, to break. But if you put the next iron rod all the way in down, and you use your binding wire to bind them together, when something happens, it's very difficult to shake it, to just separate, break. So these are little things that we have to pay attention when we are constructing our future homes, you know, because most people are more about cutting cost, when it comes to construction. And at the end, it will cost you even more. You have your cracks and all those things. So please, let's pay attention when we are doing such things, because if you don't want to cry now, then you are postponing your cry. You will cry in the future. If you watch my previous episode, you know what I'm talking about, where someone did his concrete casting, and today he has to break everything down and redo the whole thing again. How are you going to do that if you've already built on top of this decking? So please, let's pay attention to what we are doing. And yeah, so I think this brings us to the end of today's episode. There's not so much to share. These are all metal works, and later on the guys are not done yet. They still have to straighten up the iron rods, make it, have the same measurement. So there's still a lot of work to do here. It is not just laying the iron rods and then that is it. So I think my next episode will be on the concrete casting. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, kindly please do so you don't miss out on my upcoming uploads. If you haven't liked the video yet, please do so. It's very important. It spreads this video to a lot of audience, so that people see what's going on in the country. And please do share. It's always nice to share knowledge with other people. So that's it for me today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next episode. Like, do we?